The rapture dreams won't stop coming. Seems like they're way more frequently. So if I have a rapture dream, I'm going to try and report it, try to tell you everything I can remember from it. So today is Sunday, February 9th. This morning I woke up and I was like, I just had a rapture dream, didn't I? So I wrote it down. There was different things that happened in the dream, so I'll try to keep it relevant to what I think is relevant to it and try to remember everything that I can from it. But anyways, I was on this platform and there was this group of people also on the platform. It was like attached to this like part of this like museum or school or something. It was weird, but the view from this platform balcony area was amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous. Like, you look out and there was this huge just valley and this mountain, like this giant mountain, like really close to us. It was either a mountain or it might have been like an actual like volcano. But anyways, I was there trying to warn people that the rapture was soon, and some of them were like getting really upset at me, like really, really upset. Like, they did not want to hear that. But anyways, there was that mountain or volcano, and I looked over at it, and it was weird because I saw water coming out of it. It was like water along with like these like big drops of water, like these balls of water, like coming out of the mountain, splashing on the side of it. And it was like constantly spewing water out, kind of like a fountain, you know. It was strange. So of course, because that made absolutely no sense, I was like, I think the rapture's gonna happen. Like, I gotta warn these people, I gotta tell them. So I kept on warning them. I'm like, people, look at that mountain. There are huge, look at those, there's huge drops of water spewing out of this. Someone was like, no, that's only because, and they gave some weird, just random scientific reason as to why that was happening. And I'm like, yes, and God said strange things would happen, and they're happening. And yes, it is because of science, but God is making that science happen. All of these things are happening because God is warning us. He's making them happen. He controls what controls the science behind it. So yes, it is science, and it is also God. But yeah, they got so mad at me. Again, this is all in my dream. And I don't know what all words I'm not allowed to say on here to get restricted or whatever, but someone in my dream, they were so mad at me saying that the rapture was coming that they took out a pew-pew. But I remember just like most people being mad at me, but there was this big guy, like this real big tall guy, standing up for me, and he like, I think he took the pew-pew away from them. He said to me, he's like, "You're a Christian? I'm a Christian too," you know? It's like, this is weird, but he's like, we should get dinner later. And he's like, obviously not like that, you know, just to, like, as friends, obviously. I just thought about this, but I think I know what that means. At least the part with the guy, the big guy helping me. I think that guy protecting me is like God's protection, like God protecting me. And him asking me to dinner later is like the marriage supper of the Lamb. How in the Bible it talks about after we're raptured up, you know, there's going to be this big feast, like the marriage supper of the Lamb, right? I don't know. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. I just thought about that, and I'm like, if it has a meaning, it has to be it, right? That's really cool. And if I remember right, I think that guy himself had like his own pew-pew with him, and he like got it out, and it was like this little small thing, but he's like, you know, telling them not to mess with us, you know, like not to mess with me. But seriously, this crowd, they were just like going crazy. They were just being so deeply angry, and I forget what happened next, but something happened. Like, I think maybe, I can't remember, but I think something maybe it was falling out of the sky. I can't remember if it was maybe fireballs or just like all these big drops of water everywhere. It had just gotten so chaotic, and I remember it just getting like really dark out really quickly. And so everyone was just like running away, just going off in their own ways because everything was just so chaotic. And so I was out running, and quickly I saw this like big water tank, like this white kind of whatever you call it, And for some reason, I don't know why I was doing this, but I remember climbing up this little ladder attached to the side of it. So I went up to check the water for some reason, and it was filled with all these dead fish. There was also like a lot of these like tiny orange or golden dead fish just everywhere. I think from what I can remember, it was so gross and weird. And I had noticed as I was trying to climb back down the ladder that even each step was covered in them, like all these like dead goldfish or fish or whatever, and some were even like still alive, like flopping around. It was very bizarre. So then once I got off the ladder, I just noticed like the ground was just like covered in just so much dead fish just everywhere. And I think that's pretty much all I can remember from my dream. It was just weird. You know, some of these dreams, they're just they don't make a lot of sense. You know, maybe there's deep hidden meanings in them. Some of these dreams just get so weird, and it's hard to know sometimes what they mean exactly. And it's possible that some of these details in my dream will soon unfold in real life, and it'll be like on the news that there's a bunch of dead fish, which actually there was something about that on the news recently, like this whole like stream or river filled with dead fish. And it's tricky because I have to wonder if my brain just remembers seeing that news article recently and that's why that was in my dream, or maybe it's gonna get like way crazier and that's why it was in my dream. So like maybe we're gonna see a lot of dead fish everywhere. And if you haven't seen the news recently, there's been tons of blood red water and it's insane and it's very biblical. God is not playing around. Jesus is returning so soon. There's been so many earthquakes. The birth pangs are crazy. Everything, every day, there's always something that just lines up with what it says in the Bible. God isn't playing around. Pay attention. If you're not ready, you're going to miss out. Jesus loves you. God bless. Peace.
Residents in Jackson County dealing with thousands of dead fish floating in area bayous, but experts with the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources say they're not alone. Our Aaron S. Lee joins us to cast light on a fishy situation currently happening along the coast weeks after that historic winter storm.
That's right, Jennifer. DMR officials blame the unprecedented Arctic blast late last month for killing hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of mullet, a species they say is simply not thermally tolerant enough to withstand the freezing temperatures. And the stench was palpable today as schools of decomposing mullet slowly drifted down Davis Bayou along Government Road near the Gulf Island National Seashore in Ocean Springs. The rotting carcasses could be seen and smelt as interior fisheries all the way to Grand Bay were a killing field of sorts when mainly mullet were unable to escape to deeper, warmer water for safety.
Did he say millions? That was way, way more than I thought. I only saw like a small little river full of them, but okay, that's way crazier.